Welcome to today's class of class 12th Commerce Business Studies. Today we will discuss about directing, that is unit number 7, and it is part 3, and today we will discuss about motivation, types of incentives. So let us start with motivation. I am Tej Kumar Bharadwaj, PGT Commerce at KVSCCL Dhanpuri. First of all, let us have a quick look on the learning objectives of the unit. Understand the concept and importance of directing, describe the various elements of directing, understand the concept of motivation, develop an understanding of Maslow's need theory, discuss various financial and non-financial incentives, understand the concept of leadership, understand the various styles of leadership, understand the concept of communication, discuss the concept of formal and informal communication, and finally discuss the various barriers to effective communication. So this much we have discussed, and this we will discuss later on. In today's class we are going to discuss about various financial and non-financial incentives only. So I am going to establish the topic and need to know. First of all, directing, the definition. In the context of management of an organization, directing means the process of instructing, guiding, counseling and motivating and leading people in the organization to achieve its objectives. So directing is a key function of management, and it is also called as executive function of management. So it is not a function in itself, rather it has some elements. So it is a combination of various elements. Directing is a combination of supervision, motivation, leadership and communication. Supervision is not in our syllabus. Leadership and communication we will discuss later on in coming sessions, and today we are discussing about motivation. Motivation means the incitement or inducement to act or move. In the context of an organization, it means the process of making subordinates to act in a desired manner to achieve certain organizational goals and to contribute their maximum efforts. So, giving a stimuli or giving a direction and willingness to move is called motivation. Basically, motivation includes number 1, motive. The motive is the inner state that energizes or activates or moves or directs the behavior towards goal achievement. Then motivation is a process. Using motives, motivation is the process of using motives to stimulate the people to action and accomplishing the desired goals. Motivators are the techniques used to motivate people in the organization. So dear students, today our focus will be on the motivators. Incentives are the motivators. So we will discuss in detail about the motivators, and better we call them incentives. So these were the some definitions regarding motivation. We have already discussed about this definition in the previous session. You can have the screenshot or you can note them down in your notebook. Motivation is an internal feeling. It comes from within. Motivation produces the goal-directed behavior. Motivation can be positive or negative. And motivation is a complex process, means it is not same for everyone. Motivation process: unsatisfied need causes tension, causes drives, causes search behavior, causes satisfaction of needs, and it finally causes the reduction of tension. So it is a circular process. Unsatisfied need causes tension, causes drives, it causes search behavior, then the need is satisfied, and obviously reduction of tension. Then we discussed about Maslow's need theory. Our focus is on incentives And for understanding incentives, we must understand the Maslow's need theory in a very, very appropriate manner. So, Maslow's need theory has some assumptions. Only those needs which are not yet satisfied can influence the behavior of the subordinates. A smart manager, he uses the incentives in such a manner that he can get the things done by his subordinates in his desired manner. So, dear students, it is very important for a manager that he should understand which need of my employee or subordinate is unsatisfied. After understanding that unsatisfied need, he can give some motivation, he can give some incentive that your need will be fulfilled, and obviously the subordinate starts working or performing in a desired manner. Then next is, unless the lower order needs are satisfied, higher order needs will not arise. These are two important assumptions of Maslow's need theory, and they are very relevant for our today's topic, that is incentives. Maslow has classified the needs, human needs, in 5 groups: physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and finally the self-actualization or self-fulfillment needs. Now it's up to the manager, it's up to us, that we have to understand which level need of my subordinate is unsatisfied, and I can give some incentive to provide that that need satisfied, and the worker will start working in my desired manner. Maslow's need theory, if we see individual examples of all 5 levels, physiological needs include hunger, safety needs include stability of income, affiliation needs friendship, esteem needs status, and self-actualization need is self-fulfillment. But for organization, basic need is, physiological need is basic salary, safety needs are the pension plans, affiliation needs are the harmonic or cordial relations in the organization with other workers, esteem needs are job title or job satisfaction, and self-actualization is finally achieving the goals, personal goals, organizational goals, and social goals. Incentives. So finally we are coming to the topic incentives. Incentives means all measures which are used to motivate people to improve their performance. The picture in itself is saying a lot of things, that how the manager is promising or giving the incentives, and people are working in his desired manner. So today we will discuss about incentives. Incentives are the motives, they are the motivators. So incentives is something which stimulates a person to do the certain activities. Incentives are of 2 types. One is financial incentive and other is non-financial incentives. Dear students, financial incentives are those incentives for which the manager has to spend some money, the organization has to spend some money. But non-financial incentives are they do not have involvement of money, but without spending any money we try to motivate our workers. So types of incentives, financial incentives, they are measurable in monetary terms, and they are pay and allowances, productivity linked wages, bonus, profit sharing, co-partnership and stock options, retirement benefits, and perquisites. While in the category of non-financial incentives, they are psychological, social, or emotional needs. We include status, organizational climate, career advancement opportunities, job enrichment, employee recognition programs, job security, employee participation, and employee empowerment. So now we will discuss all these incentives one by one. First of all, the financial incentives, and the very first one is pay and allowances. First of all, I would like to tell you that pay and allowances are not same. Dear students, pay are salaries. There may be different types of pays. It may be wages, it may be salary, it may be the annual packages, remuneration packages. But if we include pay include basically the basic pay and annual increments. It is paid in form of salaries. So this is the biggest motivator for any worker, that he'll be getting monthly salary after working for entire month. तो जो पुराना सॉन्ग भी है कि खुश है ज़माना आज पहली तारीख है, तो वो खुश है ज़माना आज पहली तारीख है, क्यों? क्योंकि उसके घर में सैलरी आई है. तो सैलरी इज़ द बिगेस्ट इंसेंटिव, बिगेस्ट मोटिवेटर फॉर एनी एम्प्लॉय. देन देयर मे बी अलाउंसेस. अलाउंसेस और पेमेंट, उनमें एक छोटा सा डिफरेंस है, आप अच्छे से समझ लीजिए इसको. पे इंक्लूड्स बेसिक पे एंड एनुअल इंक्रीमेंट्स, वाइल अलाउंसेस आर द amount given on regular basis for specific purpose. Dear students, you will have to pay attention. Amount given regularly or at regular intervals for some specific causes. Therefore, all the allowances are named specifically. So there are very common examples for allowances: dearness allowance, house rent allowance, uniform allowance, cash handling allowance, metro allowance, non-practicing allowance, children education allowance, and you will be very astonished to know that there are some very specific types of allowances. I am going to discuss the one such type of allowance. Can you recognize this person? Yes, he is Wing Commander Abhinandan, and he is known not only for his bravery, but also he is known for his unique style of moustache. In army or armed forces, dear students, there is a specific allowance called moustache allowance. तो अगर किसी फौजी ने या फौजी ऑफिसर ने अगर बहुत अच्छे तरह की मूछें रखी हुई हैं, तो गवर्नमेंट ये मानती है कि इन मूछों को मेंटेन करने के लिए भी हमें कुछ खर्चा लगता है, एंड गवर्नमेंट पेज दिस अमाउंट टू देम. आई होप you found it interesting. Okay, so allowance is a amount given on regular basis for some specific purpose. जैसे यूनिफॉर्म के लिए अलाउंस होते हैं, हाउस रेंट अलाउंस होते हैं, एंड लाइक दैट. ट्रेवलिंग अलाउंस है. So next incentive in category of financial incentive is productivity linked wages. This is different from pay and allowances. Productivity linked wages are generally paid to the sales representatives or medical representatives. So let us have an example. For example, there is a sales representative who is paid rupees 30,000 per month and 10% of sales done by him. I hope you are getting my point. Means the sales manager will get 30,000 regularly, whether he is performing any sales or not. But if he performs any sales, 10% of that sale will be given to him. Obviously, the person, the sales manager, will feel motivated to increase the sales. So it's time for प्रोडक्टिविटी. जितना ज़्यादा वो सेल करेगा, सैलरी 30,000 के ऊपर उतना ही उसको एक्स्ट्रा पेमेंट्स मिलेंगे. सो सच अमाउंट और सच काइंड ऑफ फाइनेंशियल इंसेंटिव इज कॉल्ड प्रोडक्टिविटी लिंक्ड वेजेस, बिकॉज वी हैव अटैच्ड his salary, his incentive to his work, his output. If he is giving better output, he will be getting better wages. So such wage plan is called as productivity linked wages. Then third is bonus. You have to write the keywords. Bonus के लिए जो keyword है, that is, it is a reward for good performance. Remember, bonus is directly, in one word you have to define the bonus. Simply write, it is a reward for good performance. So the boss, when he thinks that the employee has done good for me and I have earned due to his good efforts, he announces the bonus. Fourth incentive is profit sharing. I will do a comparative study of profit sharing, co-partnership and employee participation, which will make you understand how these three things are same and different. So profit sharing, to provide a share to employees in the firm's profits. But remember and please note down, in profit sharing there is no voting right. Only there is share of profit. Voting rights are not there. Please mark it, mind it, write it, that in profit sharing, in this incentive, only a share of profit is given to the employee but not the voting right. Coming to the next financial incentive, it is co-partnership, or also called as stock option. In this, employees are offered to subscribe the shares of a company at a discounted rate, and it is commonly known as ESOP or ESOS, Employee Stock Option Plan or Employee Stock Option Scheme. Okay, so you can see the example on your screen. For example, there is a share of company which is having face value of rupees 100, but due to company's goodwill, the share is having a market price of rupees 500, and this share of face value of 100 and market price of rupees 500 is offered to employees at 350. Dear student, I would like to explain this topic in little detail, because this is also related to your accountancy. In accountancy, co-partnership or stock option can be asked from you for 1 mark. See, in big firms, big companies, when they appoint managers or engineers, they offer them some shares at discounted rate. Now you all know, you have already studied in class 11 that equity shareholders are the owners of the company. So when the company is offering shares to an employee, obviously he will get not only the ownership in the company, but he will have the profit share, and also he will have the voting right. It means the employee has become the partner in the firm. He has become the owner in the firm. Up to the shares allotted to him, he is the owner, and he will work hard for his own firm because he is having shares in the firm now. I hope you are getting it. By offering the shares, we are not only offering a share of profit in the firm, but also offering him a voting right or ownership of the firm. So this is a very, very commonly used method nowadays in companies. Comparison on the basis of sharing of profit and participation in management. See, profit sharing was our fourth point. In profit sharing, remember, there is sharing of profit, but there is no participation in management. And remember, because money is involved, it will be known as a financial incentive. Got it, students? Coming to the next one, co-partnership or stock option. In co-partnership, there is share of profit as well as participation of management in form of the voting right, because we are giving equity shares to our employees. This is a financial incentive. Why? Because there is sharing of profit. And now coming to the third one, we will discuss about this topic in coming video, in this video only, in coming slides. So employee participation. In this employee participation, every employee is having voting right, means he will participate in the management of the company, in the decision making of the company, but he will not have a share in the profit. So therefore it is a non-financial incentive. I hope this is clear to you. Please note it down or have the screenshot. So next financial incentive is retirement benefit. Retirement benefit हम सब जानते हैं, they are offered in government job. Although from 1st April 2004, the old pension scheme has been demolished and the new pension scheme took place in place of that old scheme. So still the government departments are offering some pension in form of NPS or new pension scheme. Other than pension, provident fund, gratuity, they also provide the financial security, especially in the old age. So एक जनरल कहावत है, एक जो पुराने लोग जो बोलते हैं कि नौकरी करो तो सरकारी, नहीं तो बेचो तरकारी। नौकरी करो तो सरकारी, नहीं तो बेचो भाजी तरकारी। इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि अगर आपको जॉब करनी है तो गवर्नमेंट जॉब करो। अभी दिस इज जनरली अ सेइंग, सो आई जस्ट कोट एज एन एग्जांपल जस्ट टू मेक द टॉपिक इंटरेस्टिंग, बट nowadays the private sector is also promising the very charming career options, but retirement benefits are available in government jobs only. So retirement benefit are the big incentives for any worker, because everyone want to secure his or her old age, and obviously retirement benefits provide you gratuity, pension, provident fund, and they provide you financial security at the after retirement. Perquisites. Perquisites are the fringe benefits which are offered, such as car allowance, free or concessional housing, free or concessional medical facilities, free or concessional education to the children, and other for example entertainment facilities. So these are the perquisites. They all cost money to the firm, therefore they are called financial incentives. Now after financial incentives, let us have a discussion on some non-financial incentives. First of all, you will have to understand that non-financial incentives do not involve money. Without spending money, the workers are motivated. So here I would like to draw your attention. Although everyone requires financial as well as non-financial incentives, but still if we see the managerial level, the higher level of managers, they require or they are motivated from non-financial incentives in a better way. But if we talk about the lower level managers or simply workers, they are motivated through financial incentives more, बिकॉज जो वर्कर्स हैं उनकी अभी बेसिक नीड पूरी नहीं हुई हैं, और बेसिक नीड्स को फुलफिल करने के लिए दे नीड मनी. बट इफ वी टॉक अबाउट सुंदर पिचाई, द CEO ऑफ गूगल, can you motivate him by providing more salary? No, I think, because he has reached a state where he is having enough money. But if we provide him the recognition, worldwide recognition, this thing can motivate him. So such incentives which do not involve money are called non-financial incentives. So let us have a discussion on such non-financial incentives one by one. The very first one is status. Without increasing any salary or without giving any increment in the financial benefits, simply rise the status of a employee in the organization is called status. Means making him the team leader or making him the boss or supervisor of a project without offering any kind of increment. So I think you are getting my point. Means money is not being spent by the firm, but only giving a increment or rise in the status of an employee can motivate him. Next is organizational climate. It is a very big incentive. If the working atmosphere is good in the organization, you love to go to the organization and work well. You love to contribute maximum efforts in the teamwork because you find a very harmonic relation, a cordial relation with the staff and your seniors. So you feel happy to go to the school, the organization. Okay, so and on the contrary, if the atmosphere of the organization is not good, you don't feel any motivation to go and work and join the services. Career advancement opportunities. If your job is offering better prospects in coming life, I remember my brother, he is working as an engineer. So he said that he actually didn't want to leave the firm in which he was working, because he was saying that I am working on a comprehensive project in which I am doing a variety of activities or functions on my post, and in the next job it will not be offered. I will be working only for a particular department. So such job will not offer me the career advancement opportunities. If I am working on a comprehensive project, such project experience will give me better career advancement opportunities in my coming life. So appropriate skill development programs and sound promotion policy works as a tonic, and it encourages employees to exhibit their best. Next non-financial incentive is job enrichment. Dear students, job enrichment means simply increasing the work content which requires the higher level of knowledge and skills. See, as a teacher, if I say, I have seen in my class, there are some students who not only solve normal questions in time, but they also want their teachers to give them some challenging questions. They feel motivated by it. In the same way, in your organization also you will find some employees who always ask for some challenges. It motivates them. So giving such challenges, great variety of work content which requires better knowledge and better skills, motivates the employee, and this technique or incentive is called job enrichment. Means adding some content to the job. Then employee recognition program. Everyone wants some recognition in the life. This is our need. Actually, it is our social need as well as our esteem need. We all want recognition of our work. Recognition means acknowledgement with a show of appreciation. Means we have to exhibit the work done by some employee. In many organizations I have seen that they announce employee of the month, and they announce or paste such kind of the certificate employee of the month at a place where everyone can see. In McDonald's I have seen at the very counter, the billing counter, they place employee of the month, and it gives not only honor to the worker, but everyone recognizes his or her efficiency. It motivates him with up to a great level, even without spending a single penny. Employee recognition program. Next, a non-financial incentive is job security. While we were studying about 14 principles of Henry Fayol, there was a principle, that is stability of tenure. Stability of tenure says that the worker should not have a fear of losing his or her job in his mind. Otherwise, he will not be able to concentrate on his work or task assigned. Rather, his whole attention will be on saving his job. So, if we provide the job security, it will be a great non-financial incentive for any worker. Job security. For example, if we sign a contract that if the employee leaves the organization, he will have to pay 1 month salary. And if the organization retrench him, kicks him out, the organization will have to pay 1 month salary or 1 month notice. So such kind of terms and condition in the contract of job provide some sort of job security to the workers. Government jobs are actually liked by people because they have greater job security. Next is employee participation. Dear students, I was just talking about this thing in the comparative table we discussed in this video. So employee participation means involving employees in the decision making, especially to the in the issues related to them. So asking for their opinion, the workers' opinion, while taking any important decision is called employee participation. It shows a belongingness. It creates a loyalty of the employee towards organization without spending any money. Then employee empowerment. Employee empowerment means increasing the importance of any employee in the organization. Giving him higher ranks, more responsibilities, or making him or her head of the organization or head of the projects, or giving some more challenges, or even a combination of all these things. Anything which increases the importance of the employee without increasing salary. Remember, then only it will be called as a non-financial incentive. In the next video, in next lesson, we will discuss about leadership, meaning of leadership, importance and styles of leadership. Till then, wish you a happy and safe learning. Hope you like the video. Thank you.